А на сайте Boosty снова новые посты. Я теперь буду добавлять посты туда каждый день. Вот пост про игру Homefront. И еще один пост про игру Трудно быть богом. Кому интересны такие посты, проходите по ссылке в описании. Подписывайтесь на мою страничку и поддержите меня. А прежде чем мы начнем, хотелось бы напомнить про мою группу в ВК, ссылку на которую в описании вы найдете ко всем моим видео. Тут посты, опросы, всякие вот такие опросы. Продолжаем или нет игры, нравятся программы, нравятся видео мои. Если вам нравится, вступайте в группу, поддержите меня лайком. Ну а мы начнем. Роман, всем здорово, с вами Дарк. Сегодня у нас продолжение прохождения Noire. Дело называется «Прогулка по Елисейским полям». Мы видели в начале в ролике, короче, к делу этому превьюху, короче, как мужик какой-то там собирает икебану, этой японские такие журавлики из бумаги. Блять, нахуя мне тюрьма? Так, ладно, вот сюда пойдем. Вот. Сегодня...
Can you drive to this one?
You hear about Rancho Escondido?
Are we having a conversation, Biggs?
Okay, fuck it. Forget
I'm teasing you, Herschel. Tell me about it.
The new housing development's a couple of weeks from completion. Burnt to the ground last night. GIs are ready to move in this weekend. Developer's gonna have some very angry customers.
Сегодня будем основательно подходить к делу, будем стараться изучать это все и, короче, это вся фигня. Вот так. Сегодня будем изучать дело досконально, прям основательно. По крайней мере постараемся. Если я не забуду, я могу забыть.
You guys better see this. I hope you have strong stomachs.
Коронер.
Do you have a name? Morelli, Mike. We recovered a picture of the family. Okay. Anything else? Be honest, I just got here, Phelps. Best you talk to Lynch, he's the expert. Doesn't make any sense. Why aren't they scattered around like the rest of the debris?
I think they've been moved. Ooh. I think someone moved them after the explosion and before the fire.
Can you explain that, please?
I'm almost positive the cause of death is asphyxiation due to gas inhalation. Look at the parts of their bodies that aren't scorched. The coloring around the fingertips is typical.
They wouldn't have felt a thing.
I think the fire damage is post-mortem. I think someone moved him into this room after the explosion.
It still doesn't make any sense. Why would you run into a burning building?
What are they doing?
Prayer effect is from the fire. The muscles and tendons contract.
You ever think about how many people have died in this world? And how big heaven would have to be to accommodate them bigs?
No, I have not. Show some respect.
It's our boy. I think he watches the fires. I think the Sawyer fire went wrong.
So what about the guy we have in jail, Phelps?
We got the wrong guy.
That doesn't explain why he ran into a burning building. What would make anyone do that?
Guilt. For the fires? For his mistake. This guy wants to burn houses, not families. He expects the houses to be empty. He was trying to redeem himself. He probably thought they'd be happier together.
You are one very disturbed individual, Phelps. I know you had it rough lately, but you should start to compartmentalize your thoughts.
He could be right. Can you come up with an alternative
I'm
explanation?
sure it's the same guy.
Are you telling me that some son of a bitch murdered these people, the whole family, and arranged them here like Cupid dolls?
Might fit, Cole, but I don't think we could ever prove it. There's very little evidence.
Ой!
Evidence?
Albert, check out the hot water system. Make sure we're dealing with the same MO.
Sure, Phelps. I'll get back to you.
Leave the rest to us, Cole. You better find out what's eating pigs.
Фига себе. Кто-то их принес, короче, в эту комнату.
Never the same, are they?
Вдруг одно дело сломалось. Вы чё?
So something finally got to you.
You want my help, pretty boy? You got it. You keep riding me and you won't be pretty much longer.
We can get this guy, Herschel.
Хорошо.
You think you've seen everything, Phelps? I was with the 2nd Marines at Bella Wood. The things that went on in that farmhouse. My own guys on fire, screaming for a way out. You're not gonna get this guy. There's gonna be no photos and no citations. We're gonna kill this miserable fuck. End of story. You getting this?
Грохнул?
You remember the list from the travel agent?
Sure.
The Morellis were winners too. Their name was on that list.
Christ. We should take a look around, work the neighbors, see what they know.
А, это из
Go
прошлого
across the
дела.
street.
Okay, I'll try this side.
Из прошлой серии, то есть то, что это было, вот
I haven't done this for
они
years.
выиграли приз, короче, в лотерею. Это продолжается.
You don't look like a fireman, son.
Давай к соседям зайдем, побазарим с этим соседом.
Why is the word abbreviation so
В чем
long?
дело, блядь? Давай.
LAPD, can you tell me anything about the fire next door?
Terrible luck. Imagine after having won that weekend away.
What's your name, sir?
Foreman. Dudley Foreman.
Форма. Так. Сначала улики изучим. Трупы перемещены. Семейная фотография, где изображено двое детей и его жена. Как его? Майк Морелли, его жены и двух детей найдены на пожаре. Поездка на курорт.
Did you see or hear anything that might have...
Look, we were asleep when we heard the explosion.
You didn't like Morelli, did you?
Some neighbors you get along with, some you don't. Guess they should have sold up.
What do you mean?
They're knocking down all these old houses and building a new subdivision for GIs. Morelli was being difficult.
Так, это уже интересно.
You said someone is knocking these houses down?
Elysian Fields. You must know them. They're billboards. That Monroe character beaming down at you. We've had an offer for the house.
Did the Morellis want to sell?
I don't know.
Whatever you thought of Morelli, his whole family is dead. They couldn't have all deserved that. I want you to help me here, Foreman.
Morelli was pig-headed. He built the house himself. He didn't want to sell. Stubborn fool was ruining it for all of us.
Розыгрыш поездок.
You said the Morellis had won a weekend away to Catalina Island?
Yeah, that's right. First thing I thought after the explosion was, thank goodness they was away. Then I find out they were still in there.
Who was running the competition?
What? I don't know.
Но он не знает этого, это точно.
You didn't enter yourself?
I'd already agreed to sell. The competition was an incentive for those who were still thinking about it.
Все. Это хорошо, справились. Так, теперь улики. Все, которые улики надо мной. Так. Трупы перемещены. Доказательства перемещения обгоревших трупов в гостиную. Цена одна. Семейная фотография. Ясно. Поездка на курорт. Дома под снос. Расчистка участков для строительства домов для ветеранов войны. Вот как. Ясно, ясно, все хорошо. Перед каждым допросом
It's got to be something big,
будем
right?
так делать.
Going to church doesn't make you a Christian any more than staying in the garage makes you a car.
А иди ты.
What do you think?
We need more from the neighbors, Cole. Keep working them.
Что-то не договаривает. Еще раз надо его запросить.
Why is the word abbreviation so long?
Стой, 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 стой. Окурки.
Someone was keeping watch. Looks like they were here for quite a while. Brand looks distinctive.
Колдериан.
Whoever he was wearing boondockers. I would know that imprint anywhere.
Армейские ботинки.
So what's going on over there?
Задача. Еще раз. Говорится. Это, кстати, последний отдел, если что. Больше нас не переведут никуда.
Did you see anyone hanging around the Morelli's home prior to the explosion?
Nope. Ken says I was looking out, though.
Ты пиздишь.
I think you're covering for someone, Foreman. Who is it?
And I think you are off your rocker. How can you make an accusation like that? What proof have you got? I can see you're the excitable
Не,
type.
не, все.
You shouldn't let your imagination run away with itself.
Сука.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Foreman.
Sure. Hey, if you're interested, I have one of those competition flyers in the kitchen. I could get it for you if you like.
That would be great.
Any luck, Cole?
A couple of things. What did you pick up?
Hold a piece of paper. Looks complicated.
Japanese call it origami. Can I take a look?
Sure.
Оригами. Кибана, блядь. Оригами это.
Paper crane. There's a legend about them. You fold 1,000 of these and you get a wish.
Оригами это.
Hey, don't break it.
I'm not. I'm unfolding it. It looks like a waybill or a flyer.
For what?
For Elysian Fields developments.
Elysian Fields.
Oh, I see you already have one.
When did the flyer arrive in your mailbox?
They've been arriving for weeks. This one was in the mailbox when I got home from work yesterday afternoon.
I'm at a loss.
You can find a game well and get an address for Elysian. Problem is, partner, those
Address
Elysian guys are
Elysian.
connected.
The nice thing about egotists, they don't talk about other people.
Пойдем. Адрес знаю. Ну это я и сам мог догадаться.
It's gotta be something big, right?
I need an address for a property developer. Elysian Fields Developments.
One moment, detective.
One
The
moment,
address is
detective.
748 North Oxford Avenue, Wilshire. Anything else?
Messages, please.
You have a message. Contact Captain McKelty immediately.
Thanks. Can you put me through, operator?
Of course. Here you are.
Commander?
Leads in the Morelli fire.
We're about to go and visit Elysian Fields Developments.
You're about to do what? Leland Monroe. He's a personal friend of the mayor and the chief. Are you out of your mind? I'm warning you, Phelps.
Commander, we have a line of inquiry.
You have something, you bring it to me. You're hanging by a thread, Phelps. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Good. Have a report on my desk today.
Going to church doesn't make you a
И чё, что он друг
Healthy is
начальника
one,
полиции?
garage, makes you a car.
Makes sense. It's a dead end. We should check out Rancho Escondido.
You know the place?
Sure. Corner of Fountain and Wilton. Let's go.
So what next?
Rancho Escondido, the development that burnt down. We gotta check it out.
Ранчо Эскандинто.
You're behind the wheel.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Эскандидо. Ранчо Эскандидо.
Shame about Shep. The arson desk has been trying to nail that son of a bitch for years.
He's still in custody, Herschel.
Wanna bet? Fella kicked him loose already. Can't hold him for misdemeanor cigarettes and matches.
Ну, спички и сигареты к делу не пришьешь, да, это точно. Ну, хотя, с одной стороны, это не так.
You know, there are times when you really miss a nightstick. There's more religion in the end of a nightstick than in 100 cathedrals.
I'm not gonna tell you again, sir.
Don't tell me when and how I can come and go on my own property.
It is not
This is
safe,
America,
sir.
dickhead.
Now step back, or I'll lock you up for a
Smart
fray.
mouth son of a bitch.
Ух ты!
Come on, then! That's not cool. We're gonna have to pacify these poor saps.
Come on, then.
I'm gonna bust you right through. Oh, you're going to.
Приложил. Двоих.
Good thing you showed up
Двоих
when you
я
did,
завалил.
detectives. Those folks were baying for blood.
Okay, then. Let's see if there's anything left to
Че он
take a look.
сказал? Бутлак? Какой это бутлак, блядь? Как мне забраться?
Mortar is like dust. Is that normal in a fire?
You'd expect some shrinkage in the heat, but it looks like the cement barely adhered to the brick. Doesn't appear to be any wall ties either. This thing looks like it was built on the cheap.
Oh, shit!
If we're paying a visit to Elysian and ruining my career, let's bite the bullet and get on with it.
Так. Расследование в этом месте, что ли, закончилось уже? Мы одну улику нашли и все, что ли? Что-то я не верю. Короче, он пошел, сел в машину. Напарник мой. Что сейчас надо? Продолжить расследование в Elysian Fields.
You know the way. You can drive.
So where do you want to go?
Elysian Fields.
KTI Radio reminds you to immunize your child today. Only with...
Вот не хочу я сам ездить и все, не нравится мне это. Я ездил только когда это. Вот сейчас погоня будет по-любому. Акционная стая. Что-то. Хотя, не знаю. Ладно. Ну сейчас что-то акционная стая будет. Подожди. Улики надо изучить сначала, а потом уже это. Так. Калдерсон. Подошвы армейских ботинок. Подожди. Бумажный журавлик, сделанный из рекламного проспекта Elysian Fields. Реклама Elysian Fields. Некачественный цемент. Останки здания свидетельствуют о плохом качестве постройки и недоброкачественных этих материалов. Раньше скандидо. Он, наверное, уволится потом из полиции.
Detectives Phelps and Biggs, LAPD, to see Leland Monroe.
Do you have an appointment?
We're the police, lady. We don't need an appointment.
Can I tell him what it's about?
It's an official investigation.
There are 2 police officers here to see Mr. Monroe.
Send them through.
And that's our cue. Thanks, ma'am.
Thanks, ma'am.
May I help you, gentlemen?
We would like to speak to Mr. Monroe.
I'm afraid it's impossible. Mr. Monroe's schedule is booked weeks in advance.
Cut to the chase, sister. Is he in?
I'm not at liberty to reveal that, officer.
So he hired you for your intelligence?
I find that offensive.
You have every right to.
This is getting us nowhere, miss.
Casino.
Would you like us to return with a warrant?
That won't be necessary, gentlemen. Come into my office. Would you like a cigar? Drink, boys.
Sure, I'll have a scotch.
Biggs!
Сейчас мы это все изучим сначала, подожди. Тут нихуя себе, блядь. Какие фигурки-то. Сейчас. Секунду, я похожу сначала, посмотрю, потом буду это. Нихуя тут. Неплохо, неплохо.
We're investigating a series of domestic fires, Mr. Monroe.
It's terrible, boys. How can I help?
Elysian Fields and Suburban Redevelopment Fund flyers keep turning up in the vicinity of the fires.
They're turning up all over town, boys. Can you imagine the current demand for housing?
So that's your explanation, Mr. Monroe? Coincidence?
Explanation? Why, what's to explain? I advertise on radio and billboards for buyers, and I advertise for sellers using waybills.
What's your connection to the Suburban Redevelopment Fund?
It's an organization of civic-minded individuals whose goal is to make the city a better place for its inhabitants. Something I was proud to be asked to join.
Не знаю, блядь. Хуй пойми, чё.
What do you know about a competition for families to win free vacations to Catalina Island?
My company runs many promotions. I'm not familiar with that one.
2 families are dead, Mr. Monroe. This isn't a question of criminal liability. We're looking at conspiracy to commit murder.
Do you know who you're talking to, son? You want to use incendiary language like that with me? I suggest you should leave immediately.
Собраться надо.
You've made offers to buy houses in areas where fires have been recorded.
Are you suggesting that I'm burning people out of their homes so that I can sell them new ones?
What happens to your plans if a family like the Morellis refuses to sell?
We work around them. Business finds a way. That's the American way.
Я не знаю, блядь, у него глаза хитрые.
Come on, Mr. Monroe. You expect me to believe that you would build a new development with one of those old piles smack bang in the center of it?
Progress is an inexorable process, Detective. Those who choose to stand in defiance are usually confined to the wastebasket of history. To answer your question, yes, we would build around them if we had to. Most people see sense.
What's Elysian Field's involvement in Rancho Escondido?
One of our latest housing developments. It was due to open on the weekend, or was before the unfortunate conflagration.
It met with building code regulations.
Absolutely. Only the best for our returning heroes.
Да!
You're lying, Monroe. There's something out of kilter about that development.
Son, I've had enough of you and your fidgety friend. There's no way in hell you can prove that my materials were inferior.
I'm no expert, but I think we'll find that the bricks being used on those houses are undersized and the mortar is faulty.
And there's no wall ties connecting the masonry to the frame.
Every building is built to a budget, boys. Those buildings were inspected and fully insured by California Fire and Life. Investment of that magnitude demands it. Do you think that they'd vouch for the buildings without examining them? The arsonists, do you have any suspects?
We aren't at liberty to say.
I didn't think so. The contractors I use for waybills, you suppose it could be any of them? I have a list of their names if it'd be of any help.
That would be very helpful, Mr. Monroe.
Glad to hear it. I'm always happy to help the LAPD. My secretary will provide you with that list. Did you know that I'm on the board of the police pension fund?
Glad to be of help, officers.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
I like you. People say I have no taste.
Your boss is a fine man.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm going up to the lake.
Блядь, я так скоро на английском буду разговаривать. Иди сюда.
Check the list. We need to know who's posting the flyers.
Какой список, блядь? Где?
All I can tell you about Mr. Monroe is that he's a good employer and a fine American.
Well, you don't see that every day.
God damn!
You wanted to move in together when we're not even married.
Они не работают тут. Это не работает. Это бухгалтерия. Ну, если можно сюда зайти...
What now?
Check the list. We need to know who's posting the flyers.
Remember when Mickey and his boys were shooting up the whole town last week? I heard that cop there is the only one that fought back. He's either brave or crazy.
Let me guess. Hiding from the wife? I gotta have it.
You sure that's not that crazy cop that almost ran me over?
As the cannibals finished off eating the clown, one said, "Did that taste funny to you?" Are you drunk, mister? Or are you just cracked?
Son, you're a couple of slates.
Ja, по-моему, не туда зашел.
What's the story? Any of these names ring a bell?
Что теперь?
Any ideas?
Check the list. We need to know who's posting the flyers.
Herbert Chapman is on this list.
Find the phone. We need to know where we're at with Chapman.
Find the phone.
I'm going up to the lakes to watch the races on Saturday.
Well, you don't see that every day.
Apologize immediately.
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Я уже знаю.
Phelps, 1247.
1247.
How can I help, Detective?
Can you check whether we are still holding a Herbert Chapman?
Let me find out for you. He was released this morning, Detective. I'm sorry, Detective.
Not your fault. Can you give me a last known address and put out an APB on the guy?
I'll get back to you, Detective. APB will go out over KGPL shortly.
Thanks for your help.
Thanks to help.
Well, I love the chase till the minute I win it. A beautiful face till there's love for me in it. Give me your heart and baby I'll bill it. 'Cause I always kill the things I love.
Buy me a drink, Cole? No. Not even for old time's sake? Not even for that. You're not gonna ask me why I'm here? I wouldn't give you the pleasure. We'll get around to it. She's in fine voice this evening. I wonder how the commander would feel
Save
about...
the threats for someone who cares about them, Roy.
You're breaking my heart, Cole. You know how I feel about you. Stay away from Elysian Fields.
I should have known that you were playing errand boy.
You and your doofus partner. You have been warned.
Thanks for your cooperation, officer.
I love you.
Stay away. You have no idea the type of people that are involved in that company.
I have a pretty good idea, Roy. The same kind of people that sent you here.
Your investigation is finished. Homicide will be taking over from here. I've heard we've had a spate of grass fires in the hills that you and that hunchback might be able to handle. Thanks for the drink, Cole.
Is the message about Monroe?
Yeah. Earl delivered it. You?
McKelty. He started making noises about my pension.
Sorry about that, Earl. I didn't mean to drag you into this.
Save it, Phelps. Monroe's an asswipe. And so was Earl. And so was McKelty when it's all said and done.
Roy, Earl. Говно, а не человек.
11K, go ahead.
11K, the last known address of suspect Herbert Chapman is 650 North Kingsley Drive in Wilshire.
Roger that, KGPL. 11K en route.
Let's go pick him up. You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Where exactly are we going? You fought at Sugarloaf, didn't you?
I did, but I don't like to talk about it.
You come across a guy called Jack Kelso out that way?
You know Jack Kelso?
He's an insurance investigator over at California Fire and Life. Our paths cross from time to time. For some reason, seeing you makes me think of him.
Has Jack spoken to you about his experiences on Sugarloaf? Or the rest of the campaign?
Jack keeps stum just like you do. I know what it feels like to get back from conflict. You gotta respect
Это мой
that.
сослуживец. Мы с ним воевали вместе с японцами. С этим Келсом.
We're looking for Herbert Chapman.
I'm looking for him too. I need him to move his car so I can mow the lawn.
He's definitely not here.
I've been banging on his door off and on for a couple of hours. Yeah, he's out somewhere. Just some kind of
Let's
problem.
take a look at the car.
Let's see what he's hauling around.
Листовка.
Definitely gives him opportunity.
Бентон. Это уже серьезно. 50. 45-й калибр. Автоматик. 173 бронебойных патронов, 50 патронов центрального боя с бездымным порохом.
We should revise the APB. He's clearly armed.
He's dull as dishwater, but I'm not with him for the conversation.
Motive, opportunity, and hard evidence.
Holy cow. There he is. It's Chapman. He's coming out of the laundromat.
Chapman.
Shit. He's seen us.
Cops! Again!
Так, бежать надо.
Son of a bitch, he must have caught the trolley. We gotta move fast, Cole. I'll call this in, get some cars dispatched. Car 11K calling KGPL. 11K requesting assistance. In pursuit of suspect aboard the 1110 University streetcar. Currently heading east on Melrose Avenue. Advise all units. Suspect is in control of car and driving dangerously.
Roger, 11K. All units, officers need assistance on Melrose Avenue. The suspect aboard the 1110 University streetcar headed eastbound. Approach with caution. Suspect is in control of the streetcar and driving dangerously. Unit down, code 3 identified.
Stay on his ass, Cole. Don't lose him.
Надо его преследовать.
See if he can damage one of the wheels. Might act like a brake and slow the thing down. Hold him tight, Cole. As soon as he ditches the tram, we'll be there to grab him. End of the line, you little prick. Come on, Cole.
Come on, Cole.
Heavens to Betsy!
Looks like we have our man, Cole. Well done.
I'm not so sure. Chapman seemed to have his own agenda. There seems to be more to this than a personal vendetta.
What are you talking about?
Fires benefit Elysian in some way. I don't see Chapman and Monroe working together.
You have a point. The evidence is good for Chapman. Hard to be worrying about his side of the story when he's blasting away with that big 45.
Nice work, gentlemen. Put yourself at considerable risk stopping that trolley and probably saved a lot of lives. Anyone else but you, Phelps, and you'd be up for a bravery award. We've had our eyes on that slippery son of a bitch Chapman for as long as I can remember. I couldn't be happier than to wipe him off the scoreboard. I hope this puts to bed that crazy stuff you had going about Leland Monroe. What were you thinking, Phelps? We'll be calling Richard Nixon a crook next.
Не, ну а хера ли Ричарда Никсона, чё, блядь, его бандитом-то не назвать? О, он её домой к себе привёл, прикинь, да?
What is it?
A letter from Lou. His insurance policy named me beneficiary.
California Fire and Life. You worked for Elysian?
The roof that he was working on collapsed.
It's a very generous settlement. Elsa, I'd like you to do something for me. I think there's something dirty about Elysian Fields.
What has that got to do with Lou?
I want you to reject this settlement. I want you to go and see an investigator named Jack Kelso and ask him to make some inquiries about Lou's case.
Isn't this police work?
Do you want to find out what happened to Lou?
Why would he help this Kelso?
Jack won't be able to help himself if he smells a rat.
He's a friend of yours?
He hates my guts. Elsa, you could take this money and let them get away with it, or we could get Jack's help and do something about it.
Why not be honest with this man, Cole? He deserves your honesty if you want his help.
Believe me, Elsa, I'd like to level with him. I really would, but it's too late. Years too late.
Слишком поздно. Это еще не закончено, что ли, расследование? Не закончено. Так, прогулка по Елисейским полям, короче, закончена. Нанесенный ущерб городу $100, но это херня. Найдено улик 12 из 13, и одна улика где-то гуляла. Короче, вот. Вопросов правильно 5 из 8. Ну, это нормально, в принципе, хорошо. Дело закрыто, хорошо, 3 звездочки. Короче, смотрим дальше. Следующее дело. Ну, в смысле, завязку следующего. Так, возможно, у Чапмана и был мотив для преступления, как и связь с Монро как и связь с Монро и Элизиан. Но сведения об этом он унес с собой в могилу. Понятно все. Дальше. Вот уже лучше, ребят. Спичечный дом. Последнее дело вроде как. Я не уверен, конечно, но по этому это последнее. California Fire and Life. Смотрим завязку.
Mr. Kelso?
That's what the sign on the door says, miss.
Нихуя, я чё, блин? Эльза Лихтман.
We'll never find out. I don't know what makes me so stupid, but it really works. So, you gonna see a married man again?
Чек на $20 000.
There's no need to come into the office, Miss Lichtman. If you accept the settlement, all you need to do is sign here.
I don't accept the
What do you mean you don't accept? I think you're pushing your luck, lady. This seems to be a ridiculously generous settlement. A $200 policy with a $20,000 payout? You should...
I don't want the money.
What do you mean you don't want the money?
I want you to investigate this case. I feel my friend may have been the victim of foul play.
Okay, let me get the case file.
There's got to be more in these files.
По делу страхового полиса. Номер такой-то. Лизинг Филдс. Ладно, давайте сейчас сразу это дело тоже решим. Если оно недолгое будет. Если долгое, я потом разделю. Ну сейчас мы вот это вот с документами с этими разберемся.
Never find out. I don't know what makes you think it's stupid, but it really works. So, you gonna see a married man again?
Sounds like your friend took a hell of a fall. I'm sorry for your loss.
Блять.
Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Of course not.
What basis do you have for your claim of foul play?
Lou Buckwalter was a craftsman. I don't believe he would have made a roof that would collapse.
You want me to reopen this case based on your woman's intuition? That isn't going to happen. Take the money.
I've already told you I do not want the money. There's something wrong with that house.
You and Buckwalter weren't married?
No.
And how did you become his beneficiary?
We were family friends.
You expect me to reopen this case because you come in here walking that walk? Well, I'm not buying it. I think you should tell me what the hell is going on.
You really want to know?
Yes.
We were interned together on Ellis Island. Resident alien Germans whose parents had been killed by Nazis. Do you see the irony in that, Mr. Kelso? We spent 4 years there.
По-моему, в Германии-то нацисты как раз не убивали никого. Или убивали? Пишите в комментариях.
So the roof collapsed. Accidents happen. What exactly are you trying to achieve here, Miss Lichtman?
Exactly what I said. I want that building thoroughly investigated.
I'm intrigued, Miss Lichtman. I really am. But you're going to have to give me something if you want me to get involved in this.
There is a conspiracy surrounding Elysian Fields and the new houses they are building. I believe your insurance company is involved.
That's pretty heady stuff, Miss Lichtman. Flimsy, but heady.
I've told you what I know, Mr. Kelso. What are you going to do about it?
All right, Miss Lichtman. One final question.
Yes.
What's your address?
Is that usual?
Is there anything usual about this case, Miss Lichtman?
The address is on the letter, Mr. Kelso.
The address, not the phone number.
Mr. Benson would like to see you in his office, Jack. Upstairs. Come on, I'll walk you up.
Так, ладно, все, хватит, короче. Это было такое превью к следующему делу. Ну, в следующей серии мы продолжим. А на сегодня все. Удачи и да пребудут с вами пиксели.